So what is Flex LITE? Flex LITE is a CAPEX and an OPEX LITE model where we integrate with the JLL Property Asset Management team in order to deliver circa 600 square meters of flex space within your building. Now, this flex space is run so that it washes its face, potentially generates some sort of income for you as well as an owner, and isn't structured to be a cost to your building at all. Let me explain using this floor plan. So let's say this is a 600 square meter space. One of the first things you realize is there's a small amount of open desks and private suites. Much less than the quantum that you expect when you look at a traditional co-working space. Whilst we don't need many of these, they're still an important part of the amenity to provide swing space and flexibility to your tenant community. But also, from a dollars perspective, they're the most reliable source of income to help make spaces like this profitable, or at least wash its face, because they're being sold 12 months at a time, if not longer. The meeting rooms, they're also great to generate revenue, but they're booked on a per hour basis. And you're likely going to give your tenant community a significant amount of that percentage of utilization away for free. The event space, this is a true answer to, I've got an anchor tenant upstairs who's been asking for an event space for years, and now they're threatening to leave if they don't get one. And the owner's like, where do we put it? Oh, we don't want to put a whole co-working operation in there. Imagine if we could just have Flex LITE. All right, something that we can put in there that's not going to cost us money and potentially makes us that capital back that we invest into this, right? CAPEX LITE because it's only 600 square meters. So think of this as a Trojan horse to give your tenants what they want without having to put in 2,000, 3,000 square meters of co-working within your building. Right. The media room is a type of amenity that I've put it as an example because I think, almost every industry and tenant these days wants to create corporate content. So that's an example of putting something different within the Flex LITE space that could draw attention and interest. Okay. I think the most interesting thing about this model from the feedback that we've received is that for the larger assets that have a property manager within the building, imagine if you move that office into the Flex LITE space. Obviously, you've got a secure office for all the confidential stuff, but it means you get to meet, greet, build relationships with your tenants that makes that whole experience a lot more sticky for them as well, right? So when you think about reduction of downtime, tenant retention, I think that's a huge plus. So Flex LITE, in essence, is this. Right? And then you can put in quirky stuff like a media room, whatever amenity your tenants are asking for. And lastly, just to close it off, one of the most interesting things is that once you have Flex LITE within your building, wherever it is, you can service the spec suites and any vacancies within it. You can hotelify your asset because Flex LITE comes with an extra headcount, 1 FT. Normally you'd need probably 2 people to run this efficiently, but again, if we integrate it with the property asset management team, we can make it work with 1. Sharing systems, sharing resources. And there's a cluster model we're exploring where depending on how many we have within the area, we could probably start sharing those headcounts. So food for thought, I think Flex LITE is genuinely the future because there's lots of assets that need flex, but the co-working industry is very saturated in that particular market or area. So what do? You do Flex LITE. Well, you do less, but better.